Hey, welcome back to Consume Code. I'm Martin. This is the third video of the tutorial series dedicated to create an original 2D shooter game in Godot Engine. By the way, a link to the full playlist is in the description so you can check it out. In this tutorial, we will give an immense power to our player. He will be able to shoot balls, destroying everything on the way. But those balls will bounce on walls, and so, with great power come great responsibilities. Here is a preview of the result. And let's go straight into it. Let's create a new scene for the ball. The first node is a kinematic body 2D. Let's call it ball. Then we add a sprite node. And for the texture, you want to go in assets, images, select player.png and grab it in texture. Then you want to go in region, enabled, and you go in texture region, select auto slice, and then select the ball. Let's zoom in. We will now add a collision shape 2D. Let's create a new cycle shape and set the radius to 17.5. Okay, let's save our scene. Hit Ctrl S, go in scenes, let's call it ball and save. Now we want to add a script to the ball node. So let's just create this script. First we'll add a constant for the speed. Let's set it to 900. And a variable, velocity, which is a vector 2. Let's get rid of the ready function and add the physics process. Now we'll do var collision equal move and collide. And we'll select velocity times delta. Okay, next we check if there is a collision, so if collision. And in this case, we'll do velocity equal velocity dot bounce, and we'll just do collision dot normal. Okay, so our ball will bounce on walls. Now we want to create a function to set the ball direction. Let's call it set ball direction. And we'll simply do velocity equal direction times speed. Let's save this. Now let's go in our player script and we want to spawn an instance of a ball when the player is pressing the left button on the mouse. So we'll create a new function which will be input. So we want to test if our event is a mouse button, so input event mouse button. In this case, we want to check if event that button, so if the button is button left, and also if event dot pressed now we'll do a last check, which will be event dot position. So the position of the mouse is different than position, which is the position of the player. So we don't want the ball to have a null direction. So let's create var direction equal event dot global position minus global position. So this will be a vector2 going from the player position to the mouse position. And now we want to create an instance of the ball. So let's add a const. So const ball equal preload. And we can just go into in our scenes folder and take the ball and add it here. So now we can do our instance. So let's create a ball equal ball dot instance. Now we want to set the position. So let's do ball dot global position equal global position. So the player position plus 30 times the direction. We need to normalize this vector. Okay, so the ball will not spawn at the exact same position of the player, but a little bit further in the direction it is going. So that's great. And now we just want to call our function set ball direction. So ball dot set ball direction, and we'll pass our direction in parameter. One thing I forgot is to add the ball as a child in our scene. So we don't want the ball to move with the player, so we will do get parent and we will add child and pass the ball. Okay, so let's test that. So if I press the left button on the mouse, you can see the ball is spawning and it is bouncing on walls. So that's what we want. But there is still one problem, that the ball is always in front of the player. And we want it to be under the player for the 3D effect. So what we need to do is go to world, add a child node, which will be a Y sort. And we take the player and we just put him in the Y sort. So now if we test this, we can still shoot. And if the ball is below the player, it will be shown below. So that's what we want. So now what we want to do is to delete the balls when they enter in collision. Let's go back to the ball scene. We'll add a area 2D node. And we need a collision shape. Let's select the new cycle shape. And same, we will put 17.5. So it will be the same shape. Let's save this. In the area 2D, let's select node and we want to connect body entered with the ball node. So let's hit connect. Now we will check if body is not self. So if it is not the ball which is colliding with itself. We'll test if the ball is in body name. So if ball in body name, that means we are colliding with another ball. We will call a new function named kill ball. So we want to kill the other ball, so body.killBall. And also the first ball, the ball which is detecting collision, so just call kill ball. Okay, so now we have something a little bit tricky. We want to delete both balls, and we want to be sure that both balls are deleted. So I will just use a variable destroyed. It will be a boolean, so we'll test if not destroyed. We'll set destroy to true. And we will call deferred free. So it will free the node, the ball node. So let's test this. If I shoot balls, they will delete each other, but sometimes they will bounce on each other, as you can see. So we didn't fix all the problem. To do this, we need to go in our project settings. Under 2D physics, we want to create some layers. So let's create one for the player, one for the balls, and one for the environment. So now let's select the ball. Under collision, we want to set the ball to the ball layer, and we only want it to interact, so that means to collide with the environment. Okay. And for the area 2D, we want to go under collision. It is still a ball, and this time it will detect ball and the player later for damaging the player. Let's save this. Now we want also to open our player scene to set up the collision. So our player is in the layer player. And for the mask, we want to select only environment, as it will only collide with the environment. And for the world, we want to select walls. And under collision, it will be the environment node. And we don't need to put any mask here. Let's hit play. Okay, our player is still colliding with walls. If I shoot a ball, it will bounce, so that's good. And if we have many balls and they collide, each time they will delete each other. So that's good. Let's add a little effect to the ball. So in physics process, we'll just do sprite. So select the node sprite and go to rotation and add 75. Let's test. Okay, so now the ball are rotating and it gives a little effect. Okay, so now we can shoot balls. It's quite good. They are bouncing on walls, so later the player will have to dodge the balls, and that's kind of a cool mechanic. Next time we will add enemies, so we will be able to kill them with our balls. Thank you for watching. You can subscribe and activate the bell so you get notified when the next tutorial is out. Also, you can ask any question, anything in the comments. You can give us feedback. It will be really appreciated. And see you in the next episode.